Hello everybody, this is Konungr with another Starcraft II video. We're going to be doing a Zerg replay that I just had. But before we get in that, I'm going to go over a few things. First, I do want to apologize for my absence over the past couple weeks. I made that video stating that I was coming back, and then I ended up having to move. Some complications was where I was living, so I ended up moving for about 2 weeks. And then luckily I was able to get into a new studio apartment, which is actually pretty nice, and set this up and get ready. And season 2 of 2014 just dropped. Well, I guess it is now Thursday morning, so 2 days ago. Had the day off yesterday and the day off today, so dedicating these 2.5 days strictly to StarCraft. Of course, it put me back in silver, but we're going to work on getting out of silver. If you give me just a moment, we're going to open this replay up. Now, I have, through talking with, okay, he's not online. He's a player from the clan IVD. His name's Roach King. We converse back and forth about various Roach build or Zerg builds and openers and whatnot. So what I actually do when I'm facing another Zerg is I do a rendition of the Life's 1312 LingBling all-in, but I just do that as an opener. Basically, I go 13 pool, immediately go to an extractor and an early hatch so I can get out enough larvae and resources to defend any all-ins that they attack me with. So let's see how this goes. While this is loading up, I'm going to take a drink and a vape. Okay, so we've got this. Let's go ahead and go down to, nope, that one, disappear that, and camera. So just setting my base cameras right now. And we can go ahead and speed this up just a little bit. Alright, and we're also going to do the production tab, so blah da 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 da. Get to 13, go ahead and there's my pool, hatch. And I actually messed up a little bit here. I actually didn't, I went down up to 15 before I went my hatch, which wasn't any biggie. Kill him, move that. And whenever I'm fighting on this map, this is one of the newer maps for this 2014. It's called Merry-Go-Round. It's actually a 3-person map, so you have 3 different starting areas. So whenever I get on this map, instead of drone scouting, what I'll do is I'll send out my first overlord to one of the corners straight into the main base, and the other one to the other base. And as you see, it got about here before I saw the overlord coming out of this direction, so I went ahead and angled this guy over to this natural spot right here. If you put them up here, they can't see it unless they're flying, and as with any base where they have that rise that you can put the overlords on. Just poke in here to see what's going on. So there's that, and let's go ahead and go back to this. So checking that out, move that overlord so he doesn't get killed by the command that just came out, just like that. So we get that set up, get out a couple of safety lings. As soon as I had 100 gas, got my speed, and then 50 gas went into a Banelings nest. So let's pause that just a minute. Let's actually backtrack to where that fighting started. Okay, so we're getting out the lings, and I happen to notice somewhere on the mini-map here, I noticed a few Zerglings running by. There's those guys. We pulled them back. And I had already started making lings once. For Zerg versus Zerg, what I'll do is, if I have a feeling there's going to be impending early aggression, whenever I start my second hatch, once my natural pops up, and I'm starting to drone it. What I'll do is one drone, one ling, one drone, one ling, and what have you. That way I can get a good even balance between trying to be greedy and get my economy up and also defend off the aggression. And luckily I did, because he's got 7 little Zerglings out here as well as this drone, and I had a feeling what he's about to do with this drone. And of course, luckily my Banelings nest just finished as these lings pop, so we're going to go ahead and start a couple of Banelings, and then I'm going to start 2 more here in just a second, just so I have backups. And sure enough, they try to go put the spine down. Chasing, 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 and he tries to run past. Let's see, 14 lings. Well, I was already reinforcing, so I've got 8 more there. I've got these 2 Banelings which are just finishing, and these 2 lings as well as a spine that's just going to destroy this attack. Bring those back, kill that off, and then we're good to go. Check the immediate area just to see if he's still waiting, making Banelings or what have you, and then we go ahead and continue on our path. While this was happening, I also made sure to go ahead and start my lair, because I want to go ahead and work towards getting MutaLisks up. For Zerg, it's kind of 50-50 for me whether or not I go Roach Hydra or I go LingBling Muta. I tend to lean towards LingBling a little bit more just because I like getting up to Hive tech pretty quick, getting those Ultralisks out, and once I get the Ultralisks out, especially here in Silver League, not very many people expect those, so it goes by pretty quick. Let's go ahead and continue on. So that was the early aggression. Getting up that saturation. And of course, Lair finished, so as soon as that Lair finished, we went ahead and got that spine down, or Spire down.
Under attack.
And what I'm also doing here is, here it comes here in just a moment. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see whether or not he was starting his, because my Lair's already finished. I wanted to see if he was working towards Lair, because if he was working towards Lair, I would know I'd have a pretty good guess that he was also working towards MutaLisks. I have my Spire already working almost all the way done, in just a few seconds done, and he has no Lair, so that's a good sign as far as a Muta race goes. So we continue on.
Forces are under attack.
Let's see. And this, funnily enough, what I do on most games, and I didn't do it on this one, and I don't remember why I didn't do it on this one, but usually what happens with my overlords is I spread them out to each base. Well, I had started to do that, and this one is just lucky enough to have this little sliver here, so every time he comes to attack, his forces swing by this corner, and I have a great view of them coming by, like that, on the mini-map. So I get a nice early warning system there. And I know they're out there, so I'm just kind of peeking around, and oh, we've got those, so I use those 3 lings to kill off those 2 Banelings really quick, and then my Banelings destroy everything else as my Mutas are coming out. And so now I'm up to a full 2 bases saturation. Took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but we're facing some aggression there. And now we're swinging our Mutas across the map, trying to clear off any of his overlords that are out and about. And we're also going to go ahead and expand to our 3rd. Let's speed this up just a little bit. Oh, nice. So we've got that. Checked for a Lair again. Nothing. We were going to send 2 lings in to check and see if he had Lair up there, but that didn't work. They killed him off. And he saw my 3rd getting built, so what I did is as he was coming to attack, right before they killed it, I canceled it, and then I could restart it. That way I didn't lose the drone or the 300 minerals, which it really wouldn't matter because I'm banking quite a bit, which we'll solve here in just a minute. So let's see. we're just checking all these different areas really quick while we're waiting. And as we're bringing our units back, we run into his nice giant Hydra army, which luckily I have these bad boys, and Banelings just destroy Hydra. So make sure to pull back to regroup with my Banelings so that they can take those out. Just mop through his army. And he actually didn't run away that well that time, but he will here in just a moment. We were playing cat and mouse this entire game, so we were banking quite a few minerals, so we went ahead and dropped down 2 macro hatches, and also got 2 more queens working for those.
Mineral field depleted.
Move the overlords off to the side so they're not in harm's way of the Hydras.
Mineral field depleted.
And we also go ahead and take our 4th full base and steadily just reinforcing our Utilists and Banelings. He attacks and immediately retreats several times. And so we've got that all set up. We go ahead and start our infestation pit for our thing, and now we're also sending up these Lings to check for his 3rd. And sure enough, he has the 3rd set up,
Under attack.
which is quite alright. So we've got our 4th up and running. Funnily enough, in that little attack that he just did, I only lost 1 drone. So it didn't do much of anything. Well, the 1 drone, and I also lost 1 queen, which wasn't much. Hive finished, so we immediately started our Ultralisk Lair, got started work on 3-3 and our 3rd attack. And we're constantly just doing these little counter attacks with our Lings, constantly reinforcing Banelings. See, just sending these up here. They're cannon fodder. I'm banking so much money, and I'm constantly throwing units at them. So what we're gonna do, and our Ultralisk Captain finished, so we went ahead and got our Ultralisk Armor working. Where did it go? Oh, I guess it just finished. And we're also about to start working on Ultralisks as soon as we're about to wipe out as much of this army, my army, as we can, so that we can make nothing but Ultralisks. So as those get done, I start making Ultralisks, and we've got 10 Ultralisks on the way. Go ahead and take down his 3rd. Check to see if he has a 4th. And there that goes. And that was GG. So, as far as this game went, fairly straight up. He attempted to do I'm not sure if it was Ling all-in or just early aggression. Sent several patches of Lings at me at the beginning. A couple of Banelings. It was originally going to be a cheese, because he tried to throw a spine crawler down in my base. But we held that off, and we were already working toward Mutalisks. As soon as he saw the Mutalisks, he switch paths to pick up Hydra, and I guess mostly Ling, but some Banelings as well. And we just amassed LingBling Muta, kept holding off his attacks, and then just swept on in with the Ultralisks and knocked everything down. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one.